Teresa,
What?
did you know there were 27 types of visas in Japan?
What? No.
Neither did I, but now I know.
Hey, you're watching?
Hello everybody and welcome to Live Love Lang, the channel where we teach you how to learn multiple languages and how to go abroad. Woohoo! We're in Japan right now and today we're talking about getting a visa in Japan. I'm experienced because, well, I've been in Japan before with a tourist visa, I've been studying in Japan with a student visa, and now I have a working visa. So we will go through different kinds of visas and how to get visas and how to change from one visa to the other today. So maybe we can clear some doubts that you have about it and we can encourage you to come to Japan. General information about visa is that you can only have one at a time, so you cannot have a student visa and a working visa at the same time, or family visa and student visa at the same time. You can only have one. So when you change status, you will just lose the previous visa and get a new one. So when you get a visa in Japan, you will get this resident card which has all of your information written on it, and it's your actual document in Japan. You can go around with only that, like you don't need to bring your passport around. If you change status and you acquire another visa, they will change your resident card with another one. Another thing to know is that usually visas require you to have a sponsor, which can be a person, an institution like a school, or an employer like a company. But there are also other kinds of visas that doesn't require that. So we'll go through them today. So there are three categories of visas: working visas, non-working visas, and family-related visas. The first one, working visas, of course means visas that allow you to work, and there are many different kinds, and I will link a website down below so you can just check by yourself which kind of visa could be suitable for you. In general, they require a degree in that particular field or a number of years of experience in that particular field, which can be 1 year, 3 years, or up to 10 years of experience. It depends on the kind of visa. That's why I want you to check down below. And you can get a visa only for skilled work, which means you cannot get visas for simple manual jobs like cashier, waiter, massager,
Masseuse.
hairdresser, construction workers, and etc. The working visa that is more common, more well-known, is the Engineer Specialist in Humanities International Services visa, which is really broad. That's why a lot of people get it. You can get it if you're an engineer, or you have a scientific degree, or if you have experience or a degree in legal, economic, social fields, or human science, or if you have a degree or experience in translation, interpretation, public relations, international trade, fashion or interior design, product development. So it's really broad. I can speak about this kind of visa because I have it, and I got it thanks to my degree that I got in Italy in languages, culture and societies of Asia and Africa. It's hard to say it in English. So even if you have this kind of degrees that commonly they are said not to be useful for anything, you can use them to get a visa in Japan, so don't throw them away. Just so you have an idea, other kinds of working visas are intra-company trainee, skilled labor, business manager, highly skilled professional, which is really cool, diplomat, professor, instructor, artist, religious activities, journalist, legal accounting services, medical services, researcher, entertainer. Well, this last one is interesting because it comprehends also YouTuber. So you can get an entertainer visa if you have a YouTube channel that has enough subscribers and if you get an income from it. The second category is non-working visas. Saying that they are non-working is a little bit inaccurate, because you can obtain a permission to work under a certain amount of hours, which is usually 28 a week. If you get a stamp on your resident card that says you have the permission to work 28 hours a week. In these categories, you can find visas like student's visa and temporary visitor visas. When you are a temporary visitor, you don't get the resident card, which means that you cannot get the stamp to work, which means if you have a temporary visitor visa, you can only be in Japan and not be working in Japan. A temporary visit means tourism, vacation, family visit, brief business meetings, contract signing, or sports, whatever. Usually it lasts 90 days, and depending on the country where you are from, you can get it in Japan as soon as you get off your plane, or you have to apply for it before coming to Japan. So you have to check actually how it works for your specific country. To get a student's visa, you need to have a school or a Japanese guarantor to sponsor you. Usually it's a school, but it depends from school to school, so you need to check that as well. As soon as you will apply for a school, they will ask you to get many documents to apply for the student visa, and that is different from school to school. So the advice that I can get you is to just find the school that you want to go and check all the documents that are necessary for the application, and then if you have any doubts, just contact directly the school, because it changes case by case. So other kind of non-working visas will be trainee, technical, internship, dependent, cultural activities, designated activities. If you want more information about the specific single types of visas, you can check the link that I posted down below in the description. So actually there's another kind of visa that is between a non-working visa and a working visa, which is the working holiday visa. I didn't know about that, but apparently if you're a citizen in one of these countries, you're lucky enough to get a visa that will grant you, how much time? That is 6 months?
6 months to a year.
You can apply for a visa that allows you to stay in Japan for 6 months to a year to work, search for jobs, do whatever you want. And it's really useful if you have to figure out what you want to do, because you're really free to experience different things and to search for jobs, and you have a lot of time to do that. So if your country allows it, you can apply for this visa as well. Italy doesn't.
Jamaica doesn't.
Oh my. The last category is family-related visas. So in these categories, there are visas like spouse or child of Japanese nationals, long-term residents, which comprehends refugees, descendants of Japanese nationals, people divorced from Japanese nationals, and then permanent residents, which actually are foreigners who prove the government to be worth to be living in Japan for a long time, working and paying taxes. And the last one is spouse or child of a permanent resident. Once you get one of these visas, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever job you want, you can attend any school you want, you can have 2 jobs at a time. Nobody gives a damn. So another thing that I want to tell you is that it's not illegal to come into Japan with a temporary visitor visa and then search for a job or school while on temporary visitor visa. You can apply for a school or for a job from abroad, but for some people it's easier to actually come to Japan and do the interviews and search for a job or apply for a school while in Japan. So you can do that as well. Another thing that you can do is come to study to Japan and then search for a job while studying, and towards the end of your studies apply for the working visa so you can get hired to a company. And that's what I did. So I think that going to live in another country, even if it's for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, it's an experience that if you feel like you want to do, you should do it. And that's one of the reasons why I made this video. It's because I feel like you don't have to be afraid to not be able to make it. There are many people that are doing this for the first time right now, and nobody was experienced at first. So I understand that it can be scary, but sometimes you just have to jump into it because you will never be ready anyways, so might as well just jump into it and try it out, you know. Right. Okay, so if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we upload new content. And we also have a Patreon, which I will link down below. And of course, if you have any question or doubts, you can comment down below and we will try to answer as best as we can. Well, it's finished. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye!